Welcome to Burnsville High School. It's the border battle between the Eagan Wildcats and the hometown Burnsville Blaze. Mike Cook and Nathan Cron, glad to be with you over here from Bob Pates Field, Bob Pates Stadium, Dick Hansen Field, I believe, here at Burnsville High School. A couple of 3-3 teams looking for that elusive win, number 4. And the Eagan Wildcats are going to get the ball first. And it goes past George Anderson, and Eagan is going to start at the 20-yard line. You said, Nathan, the Wildcats, they come in, they're 3-3. Hammered Eastview 2 weeks ago, hammered Hopkins even worse a week ago.
Yeah, the Wildcats are enjoying a little run of games here where, you know, very atypical over the last handful of years, Mike Cook, is the Wildcats have demonstrated some real competence on the board, on the field. They're really setting up well for an opportunity to maybe even finish 4-4 or maybe even 5-3 this season.
Absolutely. Let's look at Carson Schwann. He'll lead that Eagan offense, number 17 in white. Landon Tonsager, number 8. He's been the main ball carrier this year for Nick Johnson's Eagan Wildcats. First play of the football game here from Burnsville High School. And it's going to be a handoff. Minimal pickup that time by Tonsager.
And up to number 2, Anderson.
And just a minimal pickup there for Tonsager, who has had some very strong games this year for the Eagan Wildcats. Nick Johnson said Tonsager's averaging something like 7.15 yards per carry. And I'll tell you, keep an eye on guys tonight like number 8 in black. You see him on the right of your screen. Well, you saw him briefly. Mambu Soni, one of the top tacklers for this Burnsville squad. Also keep an eye tonight on Michelle Duche, number 28 linebacker for the Blaze. Another top tackler for the Burnsville Blaze. 2nd and 8, Wildcats just underway here from Bob Pates Stadium, and it's going to be 3rd and long for your Eagan Wildcats as Marquise Howard up among others on the stop for Burnsville. In there as well as number 57, Raymond Belton up from his linebacker spot. And again, we mentioned Will Shapansky, number 9. We did not mention him, but another top tackler for the Eagan Wildcats as Carson Schwann gets the signal. Number 11, Brooklyn Evans comes in as well. The Eagan quarterback duo. And you saw Schwann could see his breath when he ran to the sideline. Game time temperature here is about 37 degrees in Burnsville. Just a slight wind, maybe from the bottom right of your screen to the top left. Could be a passing situation here for the Wildcats on what should be 3rd and long. This will be Evans outside the 20, 25, and he will get dropped down at about the 27-yard line. Should be punt time for the Eagan Wildcats, as a number of Burnsville Blaze players in on that stop, including Chase Clausen, number 11, from his cornerback spot. And there is your information here on BC TV Weather Channel. Again, happy to be, this is a joint broadcast between Eagan TV and Burnsville Television as well. Second year in a row that we've paired up with one another to bring you the border battle between the Wildcats and the Blaze. Eagan gonna kick this one away, just getting it off. Sakio, the return man for Burnsville, and he will just let that one roll past, and it's going to keep squirming its way down to about the 34-yard line. So a good stop for the Burnsville Blaze early. 3 and out for the Wildcats, and the Blaze is going to take over on offense with Jeremy Sherlock. Number 7 is a name we will call a lot tonight for this Burnsville squad.
Well, the Blaze certainly have their work cut out for them. They're playing a team that's got a lot of confidence, but the Burnsville Blaze have got some confidence too. They were unlucky last week, I think it's fair to say, in what happened at Eastview. They competed very well with a quality Eastview team that had some injuries when the Wildcats played them. And the Burnsville Blaze certainly believe that they can win this football game tonight. And if the Eagan Wildcats overlook them, thinking about next week at Shakopee, they're going to get smoked. So they need to bring their A game too.
You see the Eagan student section on the top of your screen. Farmers is the theme this evening for the pit. And Burnsville, they're going to keep it on first down. Sherlock kind of gets tripped up almost over himself there. Gets a minimal pickup. And there's, look at number 24 as well. We're going to call that name.
28, Jerry Teller on the stop.
I stand corrected. It was 24, Henry Sakio, the ball carrier for the Burnsville Blaze. Sakio is do everything for the black and gold this year. Plays defense, returns kicks. We'll call his name a lot on offense tonight. So keep an eye on 24 in black. As a 2nd and 8 Burnsville from their own 39-yard line. Early stages of this one. Sakio once again. Nice cut up. It's about 3, maybe 4 yards on that play. It's going to set up third and about 5 with Rockford up to finish off that stop for the Eagan Wildcats with 24 meeting 24.
Carry by number 24, Sakio.
Plays to stay on schedule, Mike Cook. It's, you know, watch
Tackle
as
by number
Sakio takes this
24,
pitch from Sherlock and goes
David
around the
Rocher.
end. There was some nice blocking there on the end. But Sakio does a nice job of cutting it up behind his block and using his block to the maximum advantage. It's third to about 4. That's doable.
Eagan's head coach Nick Johnson telling us keep an eye on Sherlock. He likes to roll out with that football, number 7 in black. He'll keep it there. Quick throw, far side. That'll be a first down for Burnsville. Across the 50, across the 40. Ooh, that's E.J. Kilgore on the reception for Burnsville. And indeed it is. Number 2 in black. Sticks are rolling for the Blaze.
What an excellent athletic play by Sherlock that
Number
time.
2, Eric
Fakes the dive, fakes the
And that's
handoff.
Jimmy John.
Some play action
First down.
back. He attacks. Watch him attack the line of scrimmage here to the left of your screen, and then he sees his receiver out to the side all by himself. That's number 2, Eric Kilgore, doing a nice job of losing the coverage. The coverage comes up to Sherlock thinking he's going to run the football, and guess what? Dumps it over the top, and it's 20 yards down the field.
22 officially on that game for the Blaze. First down of the game goes to the home team. Kilgore's going to go in motion. Sherlock's looking to go to the air and said he'll keep it. And actually he'll throw it near side. Sakio turns a busted play into something. And it's something good as he's inside the 20-yard line. That's going to be about a 20-yard pickup for Burnsville.
The Wildcats are going to have to start staying at home. That time, everything started to break down a little bit as Sherlock's, watch him scramble here out to the side as he attacks the line of scrimmage. Sakio doesn't go away or try to block. He gives him an option. It's almost like a point guard looking for another player on the fast break. And that's exactly what Sherlock did. It's well done. It's well done, well designed. But the Wildcats came off their defensive assignment. Somebody was assigned to Sakio to make sure that he was taken care of. But with Sherlock attacking the line of scrimmage, he thinks, the defensive player thinks, run, I got to rally up, I got to help my teammates, and the ball goes over his head. I'm
not sure what the lengthy discussion is about. It was a forward pass, not by much, but indeed it was. You mentioned a basketball reference. Sherlock, also a really good basketball player for Burnsville. As we get our signal, Cats penalty. And an unsportsmanlike on the Wildcats. That'll put the ball down to just inside the 9-yard line. Somebody losing their cool out there in white. So Keenan Wilson and the Eagan defense. Yeah, Wilson 55, Connor Strope is 88, Sam Iacker 22. Well, that trio and the rest of the Wildcat defense going to need to make a stand early. And it's Burnsville from the 9 on their opening drive tonight. Sakio, stutter step. Nice job that time. Guess who? It's the North Dakota State commit. Keenan Wilson, number 55 in white. Usually not a lot of room in there when Keenan's in there.
Well, no, and watch Keenan here from the left side of your screen. Just absolutely demolishes the left guard, shrugs him off, and then eats up Sakio for lunch. That's the guard's got to say, hey, I got to do a little bit better job of look. I can't let him just throw me to the side like that. Otherwise, it's going to be a long night.
Second and goal, Sherlock. We're going to hand it off our side. Can he cut back? Cuts it up. Caught the long pass earlier. It was E.J. Kilgore, and this time he gets down to about the 2. They're going to, let's see, inside the 5. Let's see where they do spot him.
Looks like about maybe the 4-yard line, so maybe about a 5-yard gain there. Nice job by Kilgore. Sakio lead blocking. Can't quite pick off Gugino, but good rally by the Wildcats to try to gang tackle as Kilgore had done a nice job cutting it up.
Nice job by the tight end, though, too. Nicholas Muser, he got out leading the way for Burnsville. Number 89 kind of pushed his man out towards the sideline. Give Kilgore a chance to cut in just a little bit. The ball's going to be spotted just inside the 5. Actually, we'll put it at the 4. Third down, Blaze. And we've got whistles aplenty because we have a timeout taken by Burnsville. That'll be their first of the football game.
Burnsville.
I guess one of the questions you have to ask yourself, Mike Cook, is whether are the Blaze going to go for this on 4th down or not? They're inside the 5-yard line. It's a rivalry game. They have a good opportunity to really stick one in the end zone. At the same time, Eagan had a goal line stand or a stand last week against Eastview, or 2 weeks ago, I should say, against Eastview. So their defense is no joke, but I wonder if this third down they're saying, hey, what play do we want to call? Because if we're going to go for a fourth down, that might be, then we call this play. But if we're going to kick a field goal, then we're going to call this play.
We'll find out. Burnsville, you mentioned that game, they played at Eastview a week ago, lost it in overtime. The official said Burnsville fumbled the ball in overtime. Coach Vargas was telling me, Coach Vargas checked that, was telling me, we kind of showed him the video where, no, he did not fumble, but what are you going to do? As it is, Eastview gets their first win of the year. Sherlock, chased by Keenan. Sherlock, ball should have been picked off by the Wildcats. Number 52, Liren, was looking for his third in 3 games. You're not going to see Josh Liren drop that football more than what, once, twice out of 100 tries?
Well, Josh Liren's checking his gloves to make sure that there's not some sort of Vaseline on him. It doesn't get much easier than that for Liren. I think maybe his eyes just got a little bit too big, and I guess we have the answer. It's not 4-down territory as the field goal unit comes on for the Blaze.
Well, Kenny Steffen is the Blaze kicker. This will be a 20-yard try. Steffen close to automatic this year for the Blaze, and he was showing plenty of leg in warm-up, plenty of accuracy as well. Here's a great look at what he's looking at. As I say that, he hooks one left, and we remain scoreless. 5:07 into this football game. And Eagan's going to take over on the miss, but that ball just hooked left.
Well, it's a tough angle. If I'm honest, Mike Cook, I've seen a lot of players, a lot of teams, both at the college ranks and high school ranks, take a delay of game penalty, move back 5 yards, because it's not the distance that's the problem, it's the angle that gets in the kicker's head. Of course, then I've seen the defense decline the penalty, and then it becomes a bit of a chess. It becomes a Belichickian chess match.
Oh, I like that word, Belichickian.
Belichickian.
All right, well, here's Schwam and the Eagan offense for their second attempt tonight. They went 3 and out in that first series. Confusion in the backfield. Tonsauger is going to find his way or fall forward for about 4 as he kind of squirmed his way off that right side. Again, making something out of nothing that time was Tonsauger.
Number 8.
Who had him right away, ran into his own man. That was Esser coming in on a block.
2 yards on first down is not going to get it done for the Eagan Wildcats. The Burnsville defense has been stout so far in the 4 offensive plays that the Wildcats have run. The Wildcats have got to start getting positive yardage. Otherwise, this offense is not going to be going anywhere tonight.
And Carson Schwab still under center. We'll see Brooklyn Evans in there, I'm sure, multiple times tonight. And here's the pitch. This is George Anderson, the senior, cuts it up. 25, falls forward. Did he get enough for the first down? I think he did. Look at where they put the spot. Looks like he's just across the 30. And there go the sticks. First down, Wildcats.
Number 2, George
Anderson.
Anderson.
Halfway point, quarter number 1.
Pardon me, Mike Cook. It's a good block to the side. You see the Wildcats there out to the side as Tate Gage is one of your lead blockers. There was another lineman who I missed. I couldn't tell if it was Esser or if it was someone else out. The offensive line, though, in that situation has to attack the line of scrimmage. The longer he stays going east-west, the harder it is for the back to make a decisive cut. I'd like to see whoever that lineman was get up the field and go north-south, get towards the line of scrimmage, and allow the back to make the cut.
Fresh set of downs for the Cats. Straight ahead, Tonsauger. Here's a nice first down surge, went right behind his center. That's Cole Meyer, who's getting the start again tonight, as we've got a late penalty.
Number 8, Landon Tonsauger, the ball carrier.
Tonsauger gets it out to the 37, but let's see what
number 5, Christian Hernandez, and Will
referees are going to talk about.
It looked like that flag landed after the play was over.
Yep, I agree.
We've already had one unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. I'm really hoping this isn't another one.
Well, neither group of players is moving one way or the other. Going to come over and talk to Vince Varpness, the Burnsville coach. I don't know if they're asking him if he wants to take the play or move it back. Varpness not happy about, I don't know if he thought one of his players got stepped on, judging by that reaction. Or what
stepped on or stamped on. He's certainly unhappy about something.
Microphone not working on our official tonight, but
we have a disqualification.
Burnsville.
We have a disqualified player. He signaled for a disqualified player. I don't know what number it was.
Looking to see, I don't see anybody on the Burnsville side going back towards the locker room, but we'll see if we can.
Given the coach's reaction, it might be number 63. We'll have to check. That's Savante Miller, sophomore defensive offensive lineman. I mean, the coach is really talking to him.
Bottom line, first down Cats at the Burnsville 47. Plenty of room there for the Wildcats. Down inside, almost to the 10-yard line. Will Huseman, the Wildcat tight end, and he was
number 10,
wide open.
Huseman.
Well, Will Huseman, thank you very much for playing. You've won yourself a big first down.
First down, Eagan.
Watch Schwab drop back and just dump it over the top. The Wildcats have been flashing a little bit of passing game in the last couple of weeks just to change it up a little bit, but boy, there's no question that Huseman is fired up, and he's a good player who just doesn't really get a lot of opportunity in this offense.
From the 12, Schwamp to Tonsager. Tonsager 5-4-3, and he'll be dropped there by pretty much the last line of defense for Burnsville. And that was Shapansky getting up off the bottom of that pile, number 9 in black.
Mambo Sony and number 21,
nice
Marquis Howard.
Hitting the hole. Look at that. There was a nice hole created.
Second down, Eagan.
Wildcats rolling now.
Cats are going to put that one at the 4, so that was an 8-yard run for number 8. Cats can get a first down without the touchdown. Schwab loses the ball, but he does quickly fall on it, just getting in there before Jaden Ellis did for Burnsville. A little bit of a snap issue there between Kohlmeyer and Schwab on that.
Well, they always blame the center in those situations, but it hit Carson right in the hands. Carson Schwab in the hands. You can't do that. You just can't do it.
Play broken up by number 72, Jaden Ellis.
Look at number 71 there, Adrian Moses
and number
for the
8,
Wildcats.
Mambu Sony.
Number 60, Jack Gilbertson.
Third down, Eagan.
In that left side of the line, they've gotten better and better as the season has gone along. Gage in with Tonsager. Schwab, spin move. Schwab spins again. 6 points, Eagan.
Well, if busted plays are going to end up with touchdowns, it's going to be a long night for
Touchdown
the plays.
17,
that was a
Carson
busted
Schwab.
play. Schwab stepped to the wrong side, Mike Cook. He and Tonsager were not on the same page, but the offensive line, watch, he steps to the wrong side. Tonsager says, wait a minute, you're not supposed to be here. But the offensive line, to its credit, as you see Esser battling there against a couple of really tough Blaze players, they got the job done.
Yeah, George Esser basically got in the way of his quarterback, but he was doing his job. He was blocking down and in like he's supposed to. And how do you say cheering when
number
you're talking about farmers?
Jack Hansen on the hold.
Again, the Wildcat, the pit is here. Farmers is tonight's theme. Hansen in for the PAT. Schwam is the holder. Kick is up, and it is squeaking through.
Extra point is good.
7-0 Wildcats with 3:50 to go here in quarter number 1. So Burnsville misses that field goal. Cats 80 yards the other way. And Hansen just pooches that one up and over. Jack Hansen. Again, how many kickers do you see that are 6'4" and 250?
Not very many.
No.
I'll level with you. That's a relatively rare occurrence, at least in my experience. But the Burnsville Blaze, the Burnsville Blaze marched this ball on this Eagan Wildcat football team in the last series, and I would expect they're going to come out and do the same thing again. I think it's called a farm out?
Farmer out. Farmer out, I believe, was the
farmer out. Okay,
is what I heard. So he got a little bit of everything over there in the pit. But hey, kudos to the Eagan student section making a nice appearance, making the 8 or 9 mile trek over here to Burnsville High School. By the way, tackle cancer game tonight here at Burnsville High School. As you'll notice, many of the Blaze players are wearing pink socks, or you can see pink armbands, wristbands.
Kicking off for Eagan.
Again, money to support the Randy Shaver Cancer Research Fund. And Burnsville is going to they're actually going to refield that one back at about their 2. Sakio across the 20 and about to the 21-yard line.
Number 24, Sakio, the ball carrier for Burnsville.
Owen Ford of the Eagan Wildcats.
Yeah, the
Tackled by number
Burnsville
25,
student section in all pink. You can see him there on the top of your screen.
First down, Burnsville.
Sakio doing it. We're going to call his name a whole lot tonight. We're going to have to see if he ever runs out of batteries, because he has Energizer Bunny written all over him, and he's doing a great job of creating headaches for these guys in white.
Burnsville's going to start at about their own 22-yard line. Sakio last week, 22 carries, 69 yards, 4 for 21 on the receptions that against the Eastview Lightning. Here's Sherlock. So he likes to roll that way and throws that one wisely out of bounds. Good pressure that time by the Eagan Wildcats. Might have been Jack Hansen, indeed, on there for the Wildcats.
Broken up by number 28, Jerry
Will Hager there, number 65 in black.
Yeah, watch. Yeah, Sherlock had Iacker. He had multiple players in his back, coming after him. He had to get rid of that football. Smart play by Sherlock. Otherwise, he throws up all the way. If he throws it at a Wildcat, suddenly the Burnsville Blaze are in real trouble. So smart to throw that out of bounds.
Yeah, if you're 65, Will Hager, you came over and you saw 3 white shirts and him. You can only block one guy.
Yeah, that's right.
2nd and 10, Burnsville. Sakio, get out near the 29-yard line. Pickup of about 7 that time. First, I just noticed that on Sakio.
Number 24, Sakio, the ball carrier.
Tape the players have on their arms for the
tackle by number 26,
I don't think I've ever seen it in pink.
It works. Absolutely. It looks fantastic. And it's going to save your elbows.
And again, like I said, tackle cancer night here at Burnsville High School. Saw they had all kinds of different ribbons for the different types of cancer you could donate and get a ribbon. And there's look at the Burnsville student section. Yeah, tackle cancer right there. Guess who? Runs into the middle of that line. That's not going to work.
Number 24, Sakio, ball carrier.
Will is there. Carter Will, that is, from his linebacker spot.
Driven back by number 78,
a 4th
Jack
and
Hansen.
about 1.
There's some good penetration there by the Wildcats. It looks like, actually, it was a couple of Wildcats doing a nice job of stuffing that hole, and then other players rallying to help, right? And that's what it has to be. Against shifty runners, you need help. You need lots of assistance, and now the Blaze, I think smartly, are going to be punting this football.
Kenny Stephan will pump it out in that last play. Connor Strope for the Wildcats. Not going to get any credit for a tackle or anything, but he made a key play to allow his teammates to get in there on that play. And Eagan's going to take over this time at about their own 28-yard line as that football
number 19,
is
Kenny
down.
Stephan. First down, Eagan.
Cats 7, Burnsville nothing. First quarter. You're on a joint production between Eagan TV and Burnsville Television. We got Mike Cook, Nathan Cron with you, and we've got crews from both schools here. Always great to work with our friends from Burnsville. 29-yard line for the Cats. You said they scored on that last possession. It was a 6-play drive, went 80 yards. It was, of course, boosted. There was a personal foul in there on Burnsville, that big chunk of those yards. But here comes Schwamm and the Cats. Schwamm, Tonsauger, straight ahead. They got a nice little pickup there on first down. Follows the block. Moses Gilbertson in there. Burnsville getting in there with number 8 that time was Sony on the stop, or Mung goes in on the stop.
Watch the offensive line surge. Look, there's a nice bubble that gets created. Tonsauger gets probably 2.5 yards before he's even touched, before there's even contact. And there were offensive linemen, it warms my heart, I have to say, to see offensive linemen blocking downfield all the way to the whistle.
Similar play, similar result. 6 yards once again. Tonsauger up the middle. And again, a whole host of Blaze players.
Number 8,
Christian Hernandez, number 5,
carrier.
among those in there for the Burnsville Blaze. Hernandez, 7 tackles last week against Eastview. And just straight ahead. But look at the Tonsauger, just that second and third effort. Chase Clausen in there as well for
Eagan.
Burnsville 22.
Burnsville trying to strip that ball from Tonsauger, and Tonsauger, ball security is going to be incredibly important against these Blaze. The Blaze have created turnovers this year, and the Wildcats are going to have to protect the football.
Limit him to about a 6-yard pickup. But again, a nice play on first down
Number
for the
8,
Eagan
Landon
Wildcats.
Tonsauger, the ball carrier. Tackle by number 22.
For a guy who's averaging 7
Chase
yards a
Clausen.
carry, as you see Tonsauger knife through the first level of the defense until he's taken
Second
down there
down, Eagan.
almost backwards by Clausen. Clausen was down on his hands and knees. He made the tackle. Nicely done by Mr. Clausen.
Inside a minute to go in this opening quarter. 7-0 Wildcats. Guess who? Guess where he ran?
Number 8, Landon Tonsauger,
And
the ball
will
carrier.
probably be the final play
Tackle by number 21,
of this
21
quarter.
Marquise Howard.
Pickup of about 5 that time for Tonsauger.
And
The sticks
also
are going to
number
move.
5,
Just a
Christian
little bit of
Hernandez.
hesitation there you saw by 21 for Burnsville, Howard coming in from the outside, and I think was Tonsauger going to shift on him a little bit, and it was just enough to be able to cut up and get a few extra yards.
I'm not being mean to Tonsauger, but when I think Tonsauger, I'm not thinking shifty. I'm thinking lower the boom. So I don't know, maybe for next time, just a helpful hint.
From the Burnsville side of midfield. And that, indeed, will be the final play of quarter number 1 as Tonsauger once again. It's maybe a couple that time.
The ball carrier.
So 12 minutes gone by.
Tackled by number 9.
The Eagan Wildcats 7. The Burnsville Blaze nothing. Nathan, it's time of the game, Roy. We always got to ask you about that other version of football. And I know it was a mixed bag last night over at Wildcat Stadium. Actually, we're going to take a quick break. We'll talk about that momentarily.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
As we get set for the second quarter here on BC TV, Eagan TV co-broadcast. Take a look at the Metro Maroons South. Woodbury at 4-1. Boy, Burnsville gave them a scare a couple of weeks ago up at Woodbury. Eastridge somehow 3-3. We saw those guys, what was Eastridge, 3 weeks ago, I think. And Eagan actually played Eastridge and Woodbury, played them both tight into the third quarter before they fizzled off at the end. But again, I saw that Burnsville score, and I think, if I remember right, Woodbury scored on a pick 6 and also a kick return as Eagan fumbles the first play of quarter number 2. And it was like a 20-7 win for Woodbury over the Blaze.
Well, what were we talking about? What was I saying right before the quarter turned? Ball security.
Absolutely.
And what do the Wildcats do? They put it on the turf. And that's the kind of thing, if you're the Blaze, you say, hey, more of that, please. And if you're the Wildcats, you say, not again the whole rest of the game. You just can't do that kind of thing. Now you're off schedule. It's 3rd down and almost 15. Forget about it. I mean, this is that you've dug yourself a hole. Now get out of it smartly.
7-yard loss on that play for the Wildcats. You would think we'll see Schwamm go to the air, and he sets up to go that way. It's going down the near side, looking for, nearly picked off. I think McGivern was down there. Actually, it was Anderson and Huseman, and there had to be some confusion because those guys should not have been that close together that far down the field.
No, absolutely
not. Sakio, by the way, for Burnsville.
Well, Sakio just about had it. Watching your screen is, as the camera pans over, you've got 2 wide receivers, or 2 receivers, I should say, in the same spot. And like you said, Mike Cook, I can't imagine that was planned. Somebody was running the wrong route.
Yep. I've got to guess which one it was, but I'll just leave it at that because setting to kick this one away. This will be Caden Tonsauger, number 3. Good high kick. Going to hit the turf. It's going to take a bounce. Which way will it roll? And it'll go almost sideways instead of really for either team. And Burnsville is going to take over for their opening drive, quarter number 2. This time they'll start from their own 27-yard line on Hall of Fame weekend for the Burnsville Blaze, by the way. 2 retired teachers, state champion basketball team are part of the Hall of Fame class that was inducted earlier tonight at a ceremony inside the Mirage Center for Performing Arts. And those folks are going to be honored here later tonight as well at halftime of this one. So from their own 27-yard line with 10:58 to go in the half, Burnsville takes over. Sherlock, good pressure. Just kind of throws that one away. Tello was the closest man in there, and he wears white.
Pass incomplete. Pressure by number 55.
Couldn't tell who that was that came flying in for the Wildcats.
Keenan Wilson.
In motion, Kilgore. He'll get the handoff, and he's going to get wrapped up. He's going to have to struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Not going to get there as, do we call it a pack of Wildcats?
Number 2.
Caden Tonsauger might have been the first one in there. Hanson is in there. Coming up off the ground, yeah, who else? Keenan Wilson.
55. Keenan Wilson on the tackle.
The blocking on the far side. I'm trying to pick out who was over there. That's not Keenan Wilson. Was it Tella? Tella did a magnificent job of penetrating and keeping the corner. And so Kilgore wasn't able, or excuse me, Sakio was not able to get to the outside and got just absolutely bottled up. But Tella did a magnificent job there of holding his outside shoulder free. Great technique by Jerry Tella.
Micah Savage set to snap it for Burnsville. 3rd and 13 Blaze. Down by a score. Look out, Iacker from the outside. Sherlock gets gobbled up. Iacker forced the pressure, and getting the sack will be Hansen. That's Jack Hansen, the defensive lineman. And boy, what a rush that time by the front four for the Wildcats. Iacker on the blitz from the outside. He just set that one up. Again, not going to show up on the stat page for Iacker, but boy, he's the one that set up that play.
Yeah, he absolutely did. And right now, the Blaze, I think, if I'm honest, they're reeling. They seem like they're reeling a little bit. Either the Wildcat defense has figured out something that they're keying off of, or the Blaze offense is just not in sync right now, because they look really good in that last drive. Right now, they've gone 3 and out. And we've got some personnel challenges.
Burnsville's going to have to call a timeout. They had 10 guys out there, then 2 guys started to come out. Yeah, maybe they are going to be able to get this one off just in time. And whistles aplenty. I would imagine that's going to be a delay of game on the Blaze. So we look for the man with the white hat down by the end zone.
Timeout.
Actually, timeout taken by the Burnsville Blaze. Hey, just before the break, I wanted to talk about the other football over at Eagan High School last night. If you want to give us a recap on one good one and one that heartbreaker.
One that got away, if I'm honest. Mike Cook. Yeah. So the Burnsville High School, I'll say that off the top, the Burnsville High School boys and girls soccer programs did lose in the quarterfinals last Tuesday. Last night, both Eagan teams were in the semifinals. The boys losing. We won that the Wildcat, and he makes the mistake of trying to field that punt when someone was in his lap. That's a mistake that David Rockford just can't, it's a mistake you can't make as any punt returner. Look, they're punting the ball. You want the ball back. The number one thing you have to do as a punt returner is either catch it cleanly or get out of the way, and David Rockford just struggled that time.
So Burnsville with
angry Wildcats there waiting to meet him. That was going to go very, very badly for the young man if he didn't get down to the ground. So yeah, good to get down, live to fight again on second down.
Hey, real quick, Jack Kruger, 26, was in on that stop. His grandparents, Rick and Julie Briggs, made the trek up here tonight to watch their grandson play. Understand the second game they've been to. So welcome to Burnsville. There's Sherlock. Well, that was almost a lateral, but Sakio gets it, spins, and he maybe
doesn't connect. It's a fumble and it's a live ball.
Absolutely.
And we'd like to make sure that the officials are on top of it to get those calls right.
3rd and 10 for the Blaze, looking to do something with this excellent field position. Sherlock in trouble. Sherlock's just going to have to throw that one onto the Eagan sideline. That is what you call a coverage sack, or a coverage play. Wasn't quite a sack, but you can see he double pumped again.
Number 7, Jeremy
and
Sherlock,
downfield they had Burnsville well covered.
Yeah, they did. The Wildcats were getting pressure there with only 4 players, meaning they were able to drop 7 into coverage. And watch Sherlock here as he comes to the outside. In fact, the Wildcats might have only had 3 as Hansen's the major pressure there. Nicely done.
For the Blaze.
Number 2, Eric Kilgore on the play.
Yeah, number 2 downs it on the 2-yard line. Nicely done, young man. Nice bit of skill and nice bit of hustle. And this is gut check time both for the Blaze and the Wildcats. The Wildcats need to get a first down, get out of the shadow of their own goalpost. But watch this as Rockford does wisely. Says, you know what, I'm not going to field the ball back there. It's not going to happen. Let that go down. But what a smart play as the Wildcats get pinned deep.
Give Andrew Dickhausen credit too, number 15 for Burnsville, got down there. He made sure that was not going into the end zone. Brooklyn Evans, the ball carrier, in a quarterback for the Wildcats. Sophomore quickly picks up 8, gets the Cats out to the 10-yard line.
Mambu Sony on the tackle.
Sony on the stop for Burnsville.
Number 11, Brooklyn Evans.
Nice hole there for Evans over the left side. That's Moses and et al. Nice job over there.
Cole Will with a nice block in there too, number 57 in white. In the right guard, you see him there just on the left of your screen. And Schwam was under center though all the way up until this point, so Cat's going to put in the sophomore Brooklyn Evans. Again, a very athletic kid. There's Tonsager. Speaking of athletic kids, he'll get a first down at about the 13-yard line.
Number 8,
little hand
Landon
up there from
Tonsager,
George
the ball
Esser.
carrier.
And you mentioned the Cats just need to get that first down and get out of the shadow of their own goalpost.
And for the Blaze, make the Cats beat you.
Tonsager, the ball carrier.
Still gets about 4 or 5 on that carry.
Tackle by number 8, Mambu
You
Sony.
mentioned it back in the first quarter. The offensive line for Eagan is just playing so well tonight.
Second down.
Well, the Blaze are bringing in a lot of extra defensive linemen, Mike Cook. You can see it there. They've got some really big hosses in there trying to match go head to head on hat with these Wildcats.
Evans, he'll keep, and hello, he gets stood up by Burnsville Shapansky.
Number 11,
Just
Brooklyn
a bit
Evans,
of
the
a
ball
size
carrier.
mismatch there. What a play though by Shapansky, the senior, welcoming Brooklyn Evans to Burnsville High School.
Absolutely, and beautiful Bob Pates Stadium. But
Sapansky
you're
and
going to have
Sony on the
to
tackle.
have to come up with something that's going
Third
to
down
beat
and
these.
4,
Look,
Eagan.
Burnsville is going to try to take away what Eagan does best, which is Tonsager between the tackles. We're going to see now Schwam back in. We're going to see if there's something different up afoot here.
Cats sure line up like they're going to run or throw the football, or run it, I should say. Tonsager took a hit right to the face mask there at the end, but it was inadvertent. But
Number 8, Landon
interesting
Tonsager, the
call
ball
here for
carrier.
Nick Johnson and the Wildcats.
Marquise
Look at
Howard on the
fourth
tackle. Fourth down and 1,
less than
Eagan.
a yard. Nice hit that time. That was Klassen that came up, number 22. So it's fourth and I'd say a foot for the Eagan Wildcats.
It's fourth and not very much, but the Wildcats also got stopped against Eastview down deep. So maybe Nick Johnson saying, hey, let's just get this ball out and let our defense, that's been playing well tonight, take over.
Caden Tonsager gets that one off. Moving over the line drive. Sakiel Hill a chance to return from his side of midfield. Flag is, I think I saw a flag get thrown.
Number
back near
24,
midfield. This one's gonna
Sakiel,
be
the ball
coming back.
carrier for Burnsville. Flag on the play.
Returns it to about the Wildcat 40. However, I have a feeling these are going to be starting back at about their own 40.
Probably going to be a block in the back or something of that nature. Official on the near side threw that flag, but
With 40
Football
officials.
fans, tonight we are participating
this is absolutely
in
going to plan if you're the Burnsville Blaze.
Walking around tonight
you're
with our
hanging
donation
around, you're
buckets
hanging around.
is our
You haven't,
BAC
after your first
third
drive, you
and
haven't
fourth
moved the
graders.
ball a whole lot, but
Thank you
in this
for being
situation,
here
you're
tonight,
down
players,
7
and now
points.
Let's fill
And
those
you're
buckets,
4 minutes from
everyone.
halftime.
That penalty, is this penalty
All
on the
proceeds will go
Wildcats?
to the Randy Shaver Cancer Research and Community Fund.
Running into the kicker. That's a 5.
How can you have running into the kicker when it's the receiving team?
I don't know, but the sticks are moving. There you go.
So the Wildcats get a first down. That's what
Yes,
happened.
they do.
I see. Okay. All right. Okay. That's what. For a minute, I thought they were penalizing the Wildcats because they moved into Wildcat territory.
Eagan's fresh set of downs from their own 28-yard line with 4:10 to go here in the opening half. Here's George Anderson, number 2, on a drive that started at the 2. And Anderson gets out. He'll cross the 35-yard line. Be about another
Number
8-yard
2,
pickup
George
for the Eagan
Anderson, the
Wildcats
ball
on
carrier.
first down.
That's just what the doctor ordered. Unfortunately for the
Number
Blaze, that
57,
penalty
Belton.
gave the Wildcats. Let's see if we can pick it up. As the producer's telling me, we got a replay here. Watch it up. Watch here as Tonsager takes the snap. He unloads the ball. And yep. You can't undercut. If you undercut the kicker, the punter, you're going to get that penalty.
Schwab near side. Anderson. Klassen tries to hang on, tries to tear at the jersey.
Pass to
And
number
it's
2,
going to be enough
George
for
Anderson.
a Eagan Wildcat first down.
Tackle by number 22, Chase
That was a good
Clausen.
call by the officials on the
And
running into the
27,
kicker.
Ben
Just
Watson.
very
First
unfortunate
down,
there for
Eagan.
the Blaze. They're coming hell bent for election, and they're not trying to commit a penalty, but they do. And watch Anderson flare out here into the flat. Does a nice job catching that ball and then turning it up. And Clausen does a nice job of keeping the speedy Anderson at bay until he can have some guys helping rally.
Yeah, Ben Watson came over to get the assist on that tackle. Tonsager, no. This will be Anderson on the pitch. And I think I saw a flag go flying on
Number
that far
17,
side.
hand off to number two, George
Upside down on that
Anderson.
fake as well. With Tonsager has did a good chunk of the Burnsville defense. But most likely this is going to go 10 against the Eagan Wildcats.
Certainly looks like it's in the area of perhaps offensive holding.
Right.
And, of course, it's right at the point of attack.
Don't see any reaction there from Nick Johnson on the sideline. You see him with the gray stocking cap.
Flag on the play.
Fourth-year head coach at Eagan High School. Dale Coleman, who was the defensive assistant on your screen momentarily. Burnsville fans are cheering. And Burnsville players are walking it back like it's against the Wildcats.
Got an illegal forward pass. He called that pitch. He called that pitch by Schwab to the outside as an illegal forward pass. Interesting. So I guess they were listening to me earlier when I said somebody needs to make sure they're on top of that stuff, but honestly, I don't know why that's an illegal forward pass.
2nd and 10.
Is he across the line of scrimmage? It must. I think they were saying he was across the line of scrimmage, but I don't know that he was. That's weird. How could? Because he came backwards as if he's running the option, and then he attacks the line of scrimmage. I don't know, man. That's weird. Okay.
Number 24, Sekiao on the tackle.
All right, bottom line.
Number
it's
5,
now 3rd
Christian
and about
Hernandez,
12
and number 21, Marquise Howard on the
for
tackle.
the Wildcats.
3rd down, Eagan.
Yeah, my metaphysical confusion is just that, Mike Cook. Just ignore me and keep broadcasting.
Here's head coach Nick Johnson of the Eagan Wildcats. Said 4th year is the head man. Longtime assistant with the Wildcats. Read extremely well by the Blaze. Brooklyn Evans nowhere to go. I'd like to introduce you to number 27, Ben Watson. And Watson did not miss.
Number 27.
No, absolutely not. It was
Ben Watson on the
he
stop
drops
for Burnsville.
Evans, both 57 and
Eagan.
27, all over that.
Yeah, Belton 57 in there as well.
Absolutely. Both of them stayed at home, and they did not bite on a fake. Brooklyn Evans is fast enough to take that to the house. If you give him
Number
10 yards, he might get 40.
Set to receive
They
for
did a
Burnsville.
nice job of squeezing him down. And, hey, the Blaze find themselves back where they were 3 downs ago, which is more or less 3 or 4 plays ago, which is, they're going to receive a punt. The clock is running.
Yep, Cats are definitely milking it right here.
A little surprised the Blaze aren't called a timeout.
Yeah, they have 1 left. Cats are going to take one, though, here as the clock ticks down to pretty much zeros on the play clock. So
timeout, Eagan.
1:13 to go on this timeout. Again, 7-0 Wildcats. Lone score of this game, Carson Schwam with a 4-yard run about 8 minutes into this one. And it's kind of been a back-and-forth game, and maybe Egan's had a little bit better of it, but you saw Burnsville's defense here a couple of times. They're stepping up. They're making the stops they need to make.
Burnsville football fans.
We knew this. We knew or thought this would be a very close game between these two teams. And it hasn't disappointed. The entertainment value is high. Burnsville's,
class of
maybe if they're getting outplayed a little bit, on the whole, on the aggregate, maybe there's, maybe they are, but they're down 7-0, and they're going to get the ball back here. And if I'm not mistaken, they're going to get the opening kickoff here for the second half. So an opportunity here for the Blaze.
Tonsager's got to get this one off. Burnsville's been close on a few other punts as well, I noticed. And they're going to play it safe. They're going to set up the return this time. Sekio is going to field that one right at the 30. And nice downfield coverage that time by the Eagan Wildcats. Huseman, I think, was the first man in, and then Wyatt Peterson finished him off. Sam Hall down there as well for the Wildcats, number 12 in white.
First down, Burnsville.
So Burnsville to take over at their own 27-yard line with 1:03 to go before the half. 1 timeout, I believe, for the Blaze.
Yeah, that's correct. I have to think the Blaze are going to be, look, I won't say conservative. Maybe if they get a chunk of yard share on first down, but I think they don't want to turn the ball back over to the Wildcats quickly. So they're going to want to get this out of their own end and make sure they go into halftime at worst 7-0.
The Burnsville student section again, tackle cancer night. Sherlock, far side. And a minimal pickup that time out to Muser, his tight end. Actually, it might be a minimal loss that time.
Nick Muser. Second down, Burnsville.
They're actually going to lose about a yard on that play. Good coverage by the Wildcats. Didn't initially see who got up right away. That was 33, Henry Highland.
Nice protection for Sherlock on that last play.
Sherlock's going to roll near side. Good pressure by the Cats. Sherlock in trouble, and he just wisely dumps that one aside.
Pass attempt by number 7, Sherlock.
Okay, so the Wildcats now, it's third down and very long. Third down at about 11. The Wildcats have 2 timeouts left. As Sherlock, you see him there running for his life as he's got multiple Wildcats behind him, and no receiver really rallying back to him. So I imagine the Burns, like I said, the Blaze, I think, are going to be conservative here. They're going to run the football, probably keep this clock going, but the minute someone goes down, I would imagine Coach Nick Johnson is going to call a timeout.
I would think so too.
Absolutely.
But Jerry Tella, Keenan Wilson, Iacker, Hanson, the Wildcat D, looking to make a stop. 3 receivers to the right for Burnsville. I keep thinking of where's good pressure that time. And awesome pressure that time coming from Jerry Tella from his linebacker spot. And I don't know what Dale Comer talked to his defense about, but I'm sure at halftime it's just going to be, guys, keep it going.
Watch Tella almost untouched.
Yep.
That time as Sherlock has to roll to his right. The Blaze are going to punt now. Now it'll be interesting to see, do the Wildcats come after this one? Do they send the house, or do they try to set up for a quick return and just try to get the ball around midfield and then hope that they can do something with their passing game?
Well, Rockford's standing back at about his own 40-yard line.
This doesn't look like a punt block to me.
Stefan will be the one kicking it away for Burnsville. And yeah, Eagan definitely came after him.
Oh, never mind.
Rockford stays way away from that. Probably not a bad move, though. He had a lot of black shirts coming down at him. And that ball is going to be down with 17.4 seconds to go for this Eagan offense. You know, I was just thinking that we have not called Peter McGivern's name tonight, for example. Had that nice fly pattern a week ago against Hopkins. Really got the Cats rolling on their way.
Number 15, Andrew Dickhausen.
Or the Cats just, are they comfortable with a 7-0 lead, run up safe play?
They've got 2 timeouts. Honestly, Mike, you know, they've got 2 timeouts. I'd be disappointed if they kneel on this ball. I mean, the Cats from 3 years ago would kneel on this ball and go into halftime, but now I expect them to try to move this football up the field.
Absolutely. Tonsager, Schwamm to the outside. Schwamm keeps going 49, out near the 49-yard line. Timeout, I imagine, to be taken. The sticks are going to
number 17,
move.
Schwamm.
We've got a man down. Is that Schwamm?
It is.
That's not good.
Tackled by number 21, Marquise Howard. First down, Eagan.
Grabbing that helmet right away, and that's a sign of a man in a lot of pain.
Well, there's some substantial discomfort, no question about that. Schwamm did put on a little bit of a hesitation move as he was going towards the sideline. Hard to tell whether maybe he got rolled, maybe he just got rolled up on as he was tackled.
Well, and when he made that, I thought he was just trying to stutter something, maybe juke a guy, and I'm hoping it's not a case of that's where, you know, an ankle gave out or, you know, whatever is causing him to be lying on this turf here at Burnsville High School. Again, Burnsville Hall of Fame coming up. Glenn Cleveland, a retired teacher and coach. James Hyington, he's a class of 99 technology and equity leader. Martin Hughes, KUZ, is a journalist from the class of 86. Colleen Laprelle is a researcher professor from the class of 89. Kelsey Mann, a film director, class of 93. Retired teacher Ron Ronning, and the 1977 state champion girls basketball team, 25-1 that group was. Whew. First girls state championship here at Burnsville High School.
Wow.
And there's Schwamm getting up. Let's see if we got a chance to keep an eye on Schwamm here at the end as he rolls out. And just right there now, that looked like it was just kind of a juke step. Yeah, it looks like his leg just got rolled up on by Marquise Howard. Yep. Yeah, that was just a football tackle, but yeah, Howard rolled up on him, and yeah, it's a bad sign for the Wildcat fans as Carson Schwamm, no pressure on that left leg. Nick Johnson giving him a hand, and
timeout.
Dr. Diana Bachland, the Eagan trainer.
Well, in some ways that the human body's just not supposed to be bent, and unfortunately for Carson Schwamm, that's what was discovered there. Now, hopefully it's just soft tissue. It's not some sort of, you know, it's a sprain, strain, or something like that, and it just hurts a lot. It's something that can heal. You know, there's not a lot of the season left, but we'll see what we'll see if he comes back, perhaps even in this game, if he can get some treatment.
So Brooklyn Evans back under center for the Cats, and he's going to throw it and try to get to George Anderson. Ball might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Pass intended for number 2, George Anderson.
It looked like it was a tip. It certainly looked like it was tipped to me, and you know, and you know, He drops back. Let's see if we can see who can get a hand on it. I think that might have been Muser playing defensive end. Looked like 89 out there, but I couldn't. Yeah, I think it was. I think it was 89. That big tight end. He's playing defensive end as well, and he stuck his arms up, and I think he batted that in the air.
5.9 to go. Cats still have a timeout, but what kind of trickery do you play here? Do you just try and run maybe a sweep or something? And Evans is going to get chased. Evans is going to go out of bounds. Good pressure that time by Burnsville.
Broken up by number 27
Watson,
and 57.
First man there for Burnsville. So Carson Schwamm's 4-yard touchdown run.
Quarterback Brooklyn
all
Evans,
the scoring here in the opening half.
Fans, please
unfortunately, Schwamm looks like he got injured pretty good here late in the first half. But the Eagan Wildcats, you see them trotting off the field.
Directed by
they lead the Burnsville Blaze by a score of 7-0.
Matt Schmeichel, Lindsey Nelson, Tyrese Laverty, Michelle Wrighton, Jared Masani, Dave Edwards, and Jeff Olson. The drum major is James.
You budget. You pay bills.
Yet somehow women like you, like me,
Are 80% more likely than men to live in poverty in retirement.
So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to save ourselves by setting a goal to save 2% more of our income for our retirement.
Why 2?
1% honors you.
And 1% honors all womankind.
So come on. Learn more about the 2% challenge at WeSaySaveIt.org.
You're so right for me, and I'm right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet tasting wine. Your lips are so divine. Your loving turns me on. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
This is really an exciting time because the Fire Station 1 that we built is the state of the art. And going into the future, it will serve the people of Burnsville for many decades to come.
This really started in 2014, 2015, when the city did a facility study and determined that really Fire Station 1 was at the end of its useful life, and really any money we'd invest in it would not be worth it because it would not sustain the fire station. So it really started with the outcome of that, and then really 3 years ago it started the design of this fire station. There's many reasons this is a community asset and benefit. Number one, we're a safety net service. It's important that we're available and reliable to respond to any 911 calls. This facility does that. Everything from the garage doors that are more reliable, longer, more durability, they open faster, to where the dorm rooms are located and how close to the apparatus bay, the training features that people can train in the fire station to be more competent to respond, as well as the health and wellness features to make sure our firefighters have reduced stress, have more rest so that they're ready to respond and at a moment's notice.
You know, one of the things that we talk a lot about in Burnsville is creating great experiences for our staff so we can create great experiences in the community. And this station really reflects a commitment financially, from a facilities perspective, in the well-being, the health and safety of our staff. Not only is it aesthetically pleasing and comfortable, a fun, a great place to live, but it's also has everything that you could imagine in being a leader, a state-of-the-art facility to make sure that some of the risks that our firefighters face, whether that be cancer, cardiac issues, that we do everything that we can to create the types of spaces to keep them as safe and as well as possible into the future.
The firefighters are absolutely ecstatic. It's one thing to see it on paper and see pictures, but to see it in person, they're just in awe and love all the features that we put in it and are so thankful for the support of the community and the council and the mayor and the city staff.
Fire prevention seriously, and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Wash, washy, wash, washy, wash, wash your hands. Scrub it while you sing the song. Wash, washy, wash, washy, wash, wash. Rub your hands and fingers and the places in between. Using soap and water makes your hands so clean. Wash your hands. Make sure you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now dry.
Wash your hands for 20 seconds, just like Elmo.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Yeah.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Spending time outdoors has never felt more valuable. Whether it's exploring nature or relaxing in your yard, let's do it responsibly. Before going out, check for closures and fire restrictions. Practice social distancing, even when outside and on the trail. Back at home, if burning yard debris, keep your pile small. And no matter where you are, be sure to properly extinguish any outdoor fire. Drown, stir, drown, feel. We're all in this together. Help keep our safe places safe.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Remember the best planned 90 minutes of your life? Or that surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Hey guys, today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Give kisses. Give kisses. Look. Give kisses. Give kisses. You heard how loud that was.
I know,
I heard that.
I heard. It wasn't you.
Yeah.
It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Bacon.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter which you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
How to continue the talk with your friend about their mental health after you ask about how they were feeling. Put down that phone. Do it. Nobody's texting you. Phone down. Good. Now it's time to listen. If they're not ready to talk yet, check back in later.
I'm always here if you want to talk. Okay?
That was great. Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
How is my little birdykins feeling?
Well, I feel okay.
My wing hurts a little bit, but that's okay.
I made the decision to get Big Bird vaccinated because COVID vaccines are the best way to keep yourself, our friends and neighbors, and me safe and healthy.
And it'll help me keep playing with my granny bird and all my friends at school.
Yeah.
It's okay to have questions about COVID vaccines for your kids. Get the latest facts by speaking to your pediatrician or healthcare provider.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. Basically, he had to relearn everything. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey.
Oh, it's on. Release the meteor!
He's looking at you, kid.
I dig it.
You budget. You pay bills.
Yet somehow, women like you, like me,
are 80% more likely than men to live in poverty in retirement.
So here's what we're gonna do now. We're going to save ourselves by setting a goal to save 2% more of our income for our retirement.
Why 2?
1% honors you.
And 1% honors all womankind.
So come on, learn more about the 2% challenge at WeSaySaveIt.org.
Graduates, 2 retired staff members, and 1 state championship team were inducted into the hall, and we'd like to introduce them to you now. First up, a retired teacher and coach, Glenn Cleveland. Glenn was a Burnsville High School staff member from 1967 to 1993 and was named District 191 Teacher of the Year in 1976. He served as president of the Burnsville Education Association, helped create the BHS Girls Golf Program in 1980, and coached the boys golf team from 1981 to 1993. With players winning several individual and team state honors. Among his many contributions as a staff member, Cleveland developed the school's work-study program, counseling students and helping them find their first jobs and career paths. Glenn is being honored posthumously. Next, James Hidington. Class of 1999. James is a technology and equity leader, helping to promote safe access and use technology for members for the LGBTQ community. He was a member of President Barack Obama's White House LGBTQ Tech and Innovation Briefing Team, and served as an advisor to the United Nations to help draft the free and equal global business standards to address discrimination against LGBTQ employees among multinational companies. He is currently the global head of insights and reporting at Google, leading workplace diversity, equity, and inclusion, and he was given the Trevor Project 2020 Visionary Award for his work to advance an empowering, future-focused message for LGBTQ young people. James Hidington. Next up is Martin Cruz, class of 1986. In his award-winning international journalist, especially known for his in-depth reporting in areas of crisis, including extensive reporting on the mental health concerns and resilience of deployed U.S. troops. military veterans, first responders, survivors of natural disasters, and people coping with homelessness. He has worked in several war zones, focusing on stories about acts of defiance, courage, compassion, and selflessness, including in Ukraine this year. In his career, he has been recognized with dozens of awards, citations, and fellowships, including the Rosalind Carter Fellowship for Mental Health Journalism in 2012. Martin Coos. Next up, Colleen Laprelle, class of 1989. Colleen is a nationally recognized researcher and professor in hearing sciences, contributing 70 peer-reviewed articles, 19 book chapters, and 3 edited books on hearing loss prevention. She is currently the Emily and Phil Sheps Distinguished Professor of Hearing at the University of Texas at Dallas and serves in the chair of the PhD program in Speech, Language, and Hearing Sciences. Her research has received funding from the National Institute of Health, the Department of Defense, and several foundations. In 2014, Laprelle received the Golden Lobe Award from the National Hearing Conservation Association. Colleen Laprelle. Next up, Kelsey Mann, class of 1993. Kelsey Mann is an animator and director, currently working for Pixar Animation Studios in California. At Burnsville High School, he created the original comics for The Voice and helped design the Blaze logo in 1993. During his career, he has worked for major production companies including Disney, Warner Brothers, Lucasfilm, and Cartoon Network. For his work on Pixar's Onward in 2020, Kelsey was nominated for an Oscar and received a Saturn Award. He is currently directing a Pixar feature film that is in development. He also regularly participates in outreach programs at local schools and youth organizations, helping inspire young people about art, animation, and filmmaking. Kelsey Mann. Next up is Ron Ronning, a retired music teacher and school leader, was a staff member at Burnsville High School from 1956 to 1986 and was named BHS Teacher of the Year in 1974. He planned and initiated the District 191 music program, served as BHS Music Department Chair and Director of Bands from 1956 to 1968, and helped create the school's humanities program. Ron was awarded a fellowship at the University of Iowa for Advanced Music Literature Institute in the summer of 1966 and earned the Distinguished Conductor Award from the Phi Nu Alpha Sinfonia fraternity in 1968. In 1979, he wrote Articulating the Ineffable, Approaches to the Teaching of Humanities, which was published by the Minnesota Department of Education. Ron is being recognized posthumously. Ron Ronning. Last but not least, the 1977 Burnsville High School girls basketball team. Finishing the season with a record of 21 wins and 1 loss. The 1977 BHS girls basketball team won the school's first state championship by beating St. Cloud Apollo 46-41 in the title match. With 1977 being just the second year that Minnesota held the state championship for girls basketball and the first that was televised, this BHS team helped inspire and pave the way for countless Burnsville girls to compete in the sport they love. The team was coached by head coach Judy Johnson and assistant coach Harlan Ernisi. the 1977 Burnsville High School girls basketball team. Congratulations to all this year's inductees, and thank you for representing Burnsville High School to the world. Congratulations. For more information about the Burnsville High School Hall of Fame, visit isd191.org/Hall of Fame. Thank you.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Remember the best planned 90 minutes of your life? Or that surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Now we welcome you back to Burnsville High School, where as we get set for second half action, it's the visiting Eagan Wildcats 7 and the Burnsville Blaze 0. Let's take a look at the standings here in the Metro Maroon South. With that Eagan Burnsville, they're both right there in the middle of the pack. Both teams looking for that fourth one of the year, which would put them guarantee at least a 500 season this year, something Burnsville hasn't had since 2018. Cats have not had that since 2014. So, and again, you look at that Woodbury and the East Ridge. We know Eagan's played with both of them. We know Burnsville's played well against Woodbury. There's not going to be an easy out if any of these teams meet a couple weeks from now when the postseason begins.
No, it'll be interesting, Mike Cook, to see how, where these teams end up. I have to admit, I'm a little bit fuzzy as to exactly how the playoff scenarios could be. What I can tell you is that if the Wildcats or Blaze run the table, now the Blaze, of course, have to still play Rosemount, and the Wildcats still have Shakopee. But if they were to either team were to run the table, winning the game tonight and winning next week, a 5-3 record certainly would be good enough, I would imagine, for a home playoff game. And even a 4-4 record, might get a home playoff game, and if you're 4-4 or even 5-3, you're going to be playing a team that you're going to be able to be competitive against. We've seen the Eagan Wildcats for a number of years, end up at the bottom of the South Suburban Conference or whatever conference they happen to be playing in, and they get to go to Blaine or Eden Prairie or whatever, and lose by 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 touchdowns. And that's just not going to happen, at least to either of these two teams. And even the team that loses this game still probably is not going to, again, be on the bottom of the standings. And so as a result, they should be competitive in the playoffs as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Cats have not gone to Maple Grove. I should use Stillwater as an example. But bottom line, the Burnsville Blaze, they're another program the last few years. I think they got one win each of the last 3 years. So again, they're going somewhere in that opening round of the playoffs where, let's face it, the odds are definitely stacked way against them. But I tell you, Vince Vartmus, he's got this team really starting to believe in themselves. He was saying that, it's a great group of kids. They've really been focused, and they've realized it's one of those, just do your job out there. You don't need to do more than your job. Focus on your job, do it well, and good things are going to happen. And that has happened so far for Burnsville this year. And I would say you could argue the same thing for the Wildcats as you look at the Eagan Wildcats. You see some of the breath coming up of the middle of that group. Again, game time temperature was 37 at the start. I'm going to guess we've dropped at least 3 or 4 degrees in the last hour plus. Heck, there was snow on the ground this morning here in Burnsville and Eagan, and about an hour before kickoff, it started to rain lightly for probably about 10 minutes. Nice cold rain, so very fortunate they have turf here at Burnsville High School. And of course, as pretty much I think every 6A team now has turf, but this would be pretty ugly if it was not a turf field still.
Absolutely. And of course the wind, fortunately for us, the wind last night, the wind was fairly brisk from the west for the soccer games last night in the section semifinals. But tonight there's a little bit of a breeze outside, as you pointed out earlier, Mike, and it's going a little bit away from us. We're away from the cameras, maybe towards the Eagan bench from the Burnsville bench, but not overly powerful, as Hansen's going to get ready to kick us off here in the second half. And the Wildcats, I mean, this is still anybody's football game. It is a 7-point lead for the Wildcats, but the Blaze are going to get the ball first.
As they crank up a little Guns N' Roses Welcome to the Jungle to get set for the second half here at Burnsville High School. And Hansen swings that right leg. This kick will definitely be returnable from about the 12-yard line. Sakio, I assume, on the carry for Burnsville, and indeed it is number 24 out across the 30-yard line. Good starting position for the Burnsville Blaze. Jeremy Sherlock and company. A little bit of limping off the field. There's Kruger for the Wildcats. Cats are already. Carson Schwam suffered looked like an ankle injury there late in that opening half, and we saw him at halftime. Boy, just couldn't put pressure on it, and not a good sign for the Wildcats, which means Brooklyn Evans will be the man for the Cats, as Sakio has been for Burnsville this year. Henry Sakio, he's a senior, plays D-back, running back, does a little bit of everything for the Burnsville Blaze, who start at their own 33-yard line. First play of half number 2, and it's just as we mentioned him, there's 7 yards right there.
It's on cue. Sakio, absolutely uncanny that we mentioned him, he runs the ball. He gets 7 yards, almost 8 yards, and so sets up a beautiful little second down and short. Good blocking there in the middle as Hansen was being absolutely double-teamed by two offensive linemen. Nicely done. But Sakio made a nice cut. He hesitated for just a second to pick his hole, and then he jumped into that hole. Big yards for the senior.
Yeah, 2nd and 3 for the Blaze. Burnsville just 3 first downs in that opening half. And they're going to face 3rd and 4 this time. Nice job by Liren to get in there for the Wildcats. First man to disrupt Sakio. And you and I were talking off the air at halftime. I expect to see Sakio touch this ball a tremendous amount of times in this second half. He had 5 carries for 16 yards in the opening 24 minutes.
Well, that was a major penetration by Keenan Wilson. It helped blow that up as Iaker also swept around the end. But that's the way you take on shifty backs that have good speed is to gang tackle, right? You have to use multiple bodies and you have to rally.
And Sherlock going to throw. He's going to roll right. He likes to roll that way and throw, but again, good pressure. Lets that one go. Nobody there wearing black. In fact, Caden Tonsager might have been the closest man to that football. But again, credit to the guys for Eagan. The guys up front, linebackers are coming in. Eagan has been controlling that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they have, and check, as Sherlock hesitates for a second. Look at Hansen. He's looking. He's keeping his arms extended. He keeps his outside shoulder free. So, imagine if Sherlock had been able to escape outside of Hansen and attack the line of scrimmage. That would have been bad news for the Wildcats. Absolutely. As it is, it's 4th down.
Burnsville looking to punt on their opening series here of the 3rd quarter. High kick. Rockford wisely gets out of the way. Again, another favorable roll for the Blaze. This will be the 2nd punt inside the 10 tonight.
Kenny Steffen.
Boy, nice job that time once again by Kenny Steffen, the Burnsville kicker. He missed a field goal early in that first quarter for Burnsville, but boy, he's definitely made up for it with some of these nice punts for the Blaze.
Well, the Blaze did. They came out and they certainly did not want to go out 3 and out. And to be fair, I mean that's definitely not in the cards in your playbook. But pinning the Wildcats deep as they did in the first half is definitely a nice consolation prize.
And Tonsager wrestles his way forward for maybe a couple of yards.
Landon Tonsager, the ball carrier.
And I think we're going to see a lot of Tonsager here in this second half. And it's one of those where I think Eagan is going to just kind of run him up the middle, kind of between the tackles, and maybe let a guy like George Anderson be able to burst to the outside. Brooklyn Evans able to do so.
Second down.
Again, just a safe play. Nice job, Tonsager, falling backwards as Sony was in quick for Burnsville.
Like Moses keeping his feet moving helps Tonsager get some whatever yards he could.
Evans will keep. Evans is going to get wrapped up. Nice job by Burnsville's big number 89. You mentioned him earlier, Nicholas Muser.
Montbusoni on the tackle.
And Evans had no chance there.
Number 89, Nick Muser on the tackle.
And Sony in there to help finish him off. But yeah, Muser, you mentioned him earlier. Tight end, plays on the D-line. Listed him as a linebacker.
I missed who that was, but there were multiple Blaze players knifing in to take out Evans that time. And that's just it's bad enough when one guy penetrates, but when two guys penetrate, the guys up front did not get the job done. And this is a big test for this offensive line.
Absolutely. Third down. It's about 8 for the Wildcats. Opening drive for them of the second half. Evans is going to come near side, and we've got a flag on the play. This one's coming back. Evans with a nice run out to the 26. Would be a first down, but that flag coming from the back judge.
Flag on the play.
Holding. You can see the man in the black hat.
It's down deep, so it's probably going to be half the distance. Yeah, it'll be half the distance to the goal, so it's going to be about a 3-yard penalty.
Yep. So that negates about an 18-yard run by Evans.
I have to say, I don't know that Evans did the right thing in that. It looked like everything was going to the left, and Evans went to the right. And I wonder if that was designed that way, or whether Evans just decided, hey, I'm going to go this way, or maybe it was a busted play. But in any event, I mean, it worked, but watch everybody go that way. Look, he shifts it that way, and maybe that was designed. Maybe that was designed. And if everyone bites the way Burnsville did, minus the hold, that's a heck of a nice play for the sophomore.
Yeah, I was trying to watch the line play. I didn't see where the hold was, but obviously a man in the stripes did, and that's what matters. Got a lot longer now on third down for the Wildcats. Brooklyn Evans, and he fumbles the snap, picks it up. Better get out of the end zone. The sophomore will just barely get out of the end zone. That was darn near 2 for the Blaze. And that's going to be a learning experience for the sophomore. You just got to get that football out.
It's a bad snap. It's a bad snap as the Blaze come flying through. That's Ellis, Jaden Ellis, doing a nice job of blowing up the backup center for the Wildcats, Cole Meyer. And this is about as ugly as it gets. If I were the Wildcats, I might even just take a safety here and get the ball out of my own end.
Tonsager to kick. You know Burnsville's coming after him. High snap. Nice job of staying off the line. The ball was tipped. Favorable bounce. Seiko from the 28. Tries to make a man miss. Does. He'll get inside the 20. And he's finally, Tonsager, the punter, finally comes up and knocks Seiko down. Burnsville needed an opportunity. They've got one right now.
Well, based on the return from Seiko and the situation, I think I look like a genius. Maybe the Wildcats should have taken a safety and then gotten that out deeper down the field. But how does Tonsager make this tackle? He didn't make the tackle. That was an absolute freight train. I mean, credit to Seiko to hold on that football. Tonsager hit him with a full head of steam. But now it's first and 10 for the Eagan 18. Best field position the Blaze are going to have all night.
Down by 7, as we said. Carson Schwamm scored back in the first quarter for the Wildcats. It was a 4-yard run into the north end zone here at Burnsville High School, which is the way Burnsville's going. Again, Sherlock, your quarterback. Sherlock's going to roll near side. Avoids the Keenan, throws it deep down the corner. Incomplete pass that time. Kilgore looking for some kind of a call on the Wildcats. None forthcoming. And it'll be second down, Burnsville.
Yeah, a little push in the back. I mean, Kilgore's thinking, hey, the ball was well over my head. Why did I get pushed? Well, because there's always a chance until that ball's out of bounds that you could come down with it, young man. So, I mean, that was a close call, but I think that's a good non-call by the officials. Little interesting. You watch Sherlock here to the outside. Hansen's giving chase. Keenan Wilson's giving chase. But I actually thought Sherlock was going to pull that ball down and try to get a few positive yards.
I did too. Second and 10. Sherlock. Seikio kind of squirts ahead. Somehow finds a hair of a seam. Still picks up about 3 yards that time for Burnsville.
Now here's an interesting question, Mike Hook. Are you in 4-down territory if you're the Blaze, given that you've already missed one field goal tonight? Now, again, I don't think it was a distance issue. It was a direction issue. But, I mean, are you in a situation where you're going to be going for it on 4th down? And so, if so, maybe that means you can hand the ball off to Seikio, or versus say having Sherlock trying to get 8 yards with with his arm.
Well, the other thing is, I'm curious if they try to run more towards the center of the field in case they don't get it, and then it's a little more straight ahead kick. Good pressure. Sherlock. Oh, nearly wrapped up that time by the way. Sherlock throws it back across his body, and that ball is going to be dropped by Muser back at about the 10-yard line.
Pass intended to number 89.
So now you're going to be at that right hash, and that comes to the question: do you kick the football with 6.5 to go in the third? I say you do.
Absolutely. I think you absolutely do. The Wildcats have not shown yet in this half a propensity to be able to move the ball down the field, having gone 3 and out on their only drive. Muser's going to want that one back.
So is Jerry Tella on defense.
As Rockford was playing safety there, but we are going to have a field goal attempt.
Stefan, this will be about a 33-yard try from the right hash. And that one is plenty of leg, and the accuracy is there as well. 6.5 to go in the third quarter. The Eagan Wildcats 7. The Burnsville Blaze get on the board with 3. Well, we mentioned last year, this game was 7-7 going to, I believe it was the fourth quarter. Or third quarter, Burnsville scored one late to go up 14-7. Cats got one midway through the fourth, and then Alex Rodman at the gun kicked that field goal. I think it was like 25, 28 yards on that one. And Burnsville had to come back on the short end of a 17-14 contest. But again, tackle cancer night here at Burnsville High School. Raising money for the Randy Shaver Cancer Research Fund.
I think that's absolutely the right call, Mike. I think Burnsville kicks the field goal there. They get on the board. Make the Wildcats show you on offense that they're going to be just as potent without Carson Schwab in the game. And right now, at least again, very small sample size, but the Wildcats haven't demonstrated that. So let's see what the Blaze do. If I were the Wildcats, I'd be very careful not to miss the onside kick or miss something tricky here by the Blaze.
Kind of a little bit more of a pooch kick. Fielded about the 12-yard line, coming towards the middle of the field, and getting down to about just across the 20-yard line was Rockford this time. A couple of Blaze players in. I believe Kilgore was first man in.
Eric Kilgore on the tackle.
So Eagan to take over at their own 21-yard line. This might be one of those drives where if you're as good as you think you are, you need to make something happen here.
Yeah, this is
facing some adversity. You lost one of your quarterbacks. You just had a short field for Burnsville, although you did hold them to 3.
Yep, absolutely. Big kudos there to the Wildcat defense.
Brooklyn Evans, the sophomore, leading the charge for the Wildcats. They fumbled the snap once again.
Yeah, that was another bad snap, Mike Cook. That's the second one in four snaps.
Cats fortunate to hang on to that football. Yeah, I think Evans, I don't know if he wasn't ready for it, but the snap from Meyer was good. It looked like he just bounced right off Evans' hands. Great camera work there by part of the volunteer crew here, part of the Eagan and Burnsville collaborative telecast. Is Nick Johnson. That look pretty much says it all, I think, for Nick Johnson and the Wildcats. That will maybe put a little bit of a smile on NJ's face as Tonsager gets out. Is it going to be enough for the first down? Let's see if the sticks. Yep, the sticks are moving on that far side.
Good double teams inside by the interior of the offensive line. Important, essential to get that snap, that quarterback center exchange down. But after that, a good double team pushing the Blaze back.
Yeah, and if you're Burnsville, you're just keying on those two players, Evans and Tonsager. Well, late flag, though.
Number 57, Belton on the tackle.
Somebody lost the helmet in there. And actually, that's Evans. He'll have to come out for a play.
I think somebody had help. I think somebody had help having that helmet come off. I wonder if that's what the penalty is. And we're going to have you see at least one Blaze player very upset about or be demonstrative.
Vince Varpness is standing out just on the field at about the 33-yard line. There he comes on the bottom left of your screen. Personal foul, Burnsville.
That's a big boost for these Wildcats.
15 against the Blaze.
Personal foul, face mask, Burnsville.
Yeah, so that helmet didn't come off just because Evans didn't buckle his chin strap. I think that helmet came off because
he had a little help.
Came off because he had a little help, and I think that's. I wonder if that's the reason he gets to come back into the game right now.
I would imagine so. Here's a look at Vince Vartman, head coach Burnsville. Out to the 46-yard line with that penalty. Again, can the Eagan Wildcats march downfield, take advantage of this opportunity? And can the Burnsville D come up big for the Blaze? And Evans, they came up big right there, that's for sure. Clausen first man in. Or Watson, maybe.
Number 10.
Well, if that was a true option, Evans' decision-making needed a little bit of help there because Tonsager was – watch Tonsager. Why Tonsager is saying, hey, I didn't get touched for 5 yards down the field. Give me the ball. But, again, I mean, it's hindsight, but a steady diet of number 8 is probably what's going to help the Wildcats here.
Yeah, just to clarify, it was Ben Watson, not Chase Classen. 27, not 22. 2nd and 11. 3rd and 9 upcoming for the Wildcats. Tonsager gobbled up by a number of Burnsville players. Christian Hernandez in there. Mambusani.
Hand up to number 8, Landon Tonsager.
The Wildcat offensive line that time just did not do its job. It did, and that includes the tight ends that were out there. Those guys they've got it. They cannot let the guy go to the inside. If the guy wants to penetrate and get to the outside, knowing that you're running an option, okay, maybe you can live with that. But if he's going to penetrate to the inside and he's going to turn the play in or on itself, that's just, you can't have it.
Look at big number 72, Jaden Ellis for Burnsville. He and his teammates looking to make this stop. Evans' quick throw, too high. McGivern, the intended target. First attempt of the night going towards McGivern. And the Wildcats are going to be forced to punt this one away with Caden Tonsager.
That brings up our 4th down.
Again, just lofts it up. McGivern had no chance to grab that one. I don't know how good his vertical is, but it's probably not that good. Tonsager, he'll probably kick this one away at about his 37. Sakio deep for Burnsville. And he will have a chance. No chance to return it as the ball took a left turn once it hit the turf. And is going to roll to a stop at about the 16-yard line, where Burnsville takes over with 3:34 to go in this one, or in the third quarter of this one, I should say.
Some real danger signs here for the Wildcats. Minus that penalty, Mike, they have not looked good on offense. And I understand, look, it's going to take a little bit of time for Brooklyn Evans to get comfortable. He's used to being rotating from play to play with Carson Schwab, but it's varsity it's 6A varsity football, and you know he's going to have to get comfortable pretty quick here, and he's going to have to produce. As you see the
farm section,
the chickens. Farmers. I see chickens. I see ducks. I see lots of Holsteins. Apparently, who knew there were that many Holsteins in Eagan?
Going old school. From the 16 come the Blaze. Nice job bursting through that line. Guess who? Keenan Wilson. That's going to be a loss of 2 on that first down play for Sakio. And I have a feeling with this Eagan offense starting to struggle, shall we say, a little bit, you're going to need guys like Keenan Wilson, Hanson, those guys, they just got to keep playing outstanding tonight. Jerry Tella in to help finish him off on that one.
Well, they got to force a turnover, right? I mean, this is a situation where a three and out's great, but how about forcing a turnover, giving your offense a short field? That would definitely be what the Eagan Wildcats could use right now.
3 receivers set for the Blaze. Sherlock, he'll keep it. Good pressure by the Wildcats. That was Liren, and thrown out of bounds, or the pass from Sherlock. Again, nice pressure, Ben Liren of the Wildcats, and Sherlock. You know, Nick Johnson told us they want to have Sherlock rolling left all the time. You've got to throw against your body. Obviously, for a right-handed quarterback, that much tougher. Because if he goes to the right, he's going with his momentum. But even that way, the Cats have done a nice job of controlling him on rollouts.
Yeah, Liren with nice pressure there. I have to say, I don't think Sherlock thought Liren was that fast. Liren kind of flashed out of nowhere. And I think Sherlock's thinking, hey, I can set my feet. Whoa, wait a minute. This guy's really coming fast. So I got to get it out. So smart play by the quarterback to get rid of it.
3rd and about 12. Cats were all over that play. Nowhere to go for the Burnsville back. Sakio as Rockford and company. Tella bursting through. Actually, Mason Isom was first man in for the Wildcats. Haven't called his name yet, or Iceland, we haven't called his name yet tonight, but he had that big kick return to start the second half a week ago against Hopkins.
Well, from a field position football standpoint, the biggest thing that the Wildcats need to do here is just get the ball. Get the ball back. Don't worry about a return. Don't worry about blocking it. Just get the ball back. Give your team the ball around midfield.
High punt, not going to be returnable. Just stay out of the way if you're the Wildcats. Favorable roll. And this time it's going to be stopped at the Wildcat 47-yard line.
Down by Kilgore. First down, Eagan.
Well, that's what the doctor. Oh, pardon me, Mike.
I was going to say, I think this is a potentially game-changing drive right here for both teams. Eagan goes down and gets 7. That's a 2-score game all of a sudden. Burnsville can maybe force the Cats to 3 and out. You're putting that Wildcat defense back out there. That's momentum continues to go to the home team.
That's right.
With 1:55 to go in the third. I think that was Anderson this time on the ball carry.
Number 21, Marquise Howard on the tackle.
Howard on the stop.
Not to be hyperbolic, but is this the biggest drive of the season for the Wildcats? Might be.
Yeah,
it's top 5.
Yeah, I mean, you could make that argument, I think. Again, opportunity to maybe, I don't want to say put this one away.
No.
And same thing as if you're Burnsville, you make this stop.
Right,
again,
right.
Momentum stays on your side. Eventually, Sherlock's going to break out, and so Sakio. Evans will keep. Brooklyn Evans. This is what you look for from the sophomore. Brooklyn Evans tripped up down to the 4-yard line. Saving tackle that time was Clausen. But Brooklyn Evans with a huge burst for the Eagan Wildcats. 46 yards.
Well, it's great blocking. Sonsager with a nice fake. He fakes. He does the ball fake, freezes the outside back, and then takes off. We've seen Brooklyn Evans in multiple games this year, Mike Cook, both at home at Wildcat Stadium and away in other stadiums. We've seen him go to the distance, and that's what he brings to the table. When he's in the open field, he is incredibly dangerous.
First down at the 4. Got to make sure you get the center exchange down. Tonsager to the 1. And will that be the final play of quarter number 3 with 34 seconds and counting? I don't know where exactly. I'm going to. Again, Tonsager just powering his way. Gilbertson leading the way out there on big number 64 of the Eagan Wildcats. Jack Hansen out there as well.
Yeah, Moses with a nice block there, comboing with number 60 Gilbertson. I'd stick my nose between those two hips and just push.
On the Wildcats, I am not snapping this football if you don't have to. Although the clock does stop with 8.7 seconds because offsides Burnsville. Okay, well, that'll move the ball about 12 inches.
A yard, well, about a yard, what, a yard and a half? They're about the 2-yard line?
I got him at
about a yard.
Did they spot him at the 2? Okay.
So maybe 36 inches?
Yeah, I had him at the 1, but okay.
No, I think your eyes are better than mine. Inside the one. So it was about 18 inches.
No, we have a TV monitor up here.
Yeah, we're lucky that way.
We're spoiled, I'm not going to lie. And Cats are acting. They're going to huddle back up. Clock's going to wind down. We are going to go to the 4th quarter with another nail biter between the Eagan Wildcats and the Burnsville Blaze, and it's 7-3 Eagan.
Hello.
Let's get back to talking smack with the side of mac and cheese. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts on COVID-19 vaccines. To get the facts, visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
The COVID-19 vaccines are going to help us all get back to the moments we miss.
It's totally normal to have questions. I did too. That's why it's so important to get informed.
Ask your doctor and get the facts. It's up to you.
And you look at the Burnsville band out here supporting the Blaze on a chilly October evening. Wildcat fans, they've been shivering on their far side as well, but the guys in white, that Eagan offense, is facing a 2nd and goal from inside the 1. Brooklyn Evans, your sophomore, is in at quarterback. Landon Tonsager, your running back. Tonsager, 6 points. Eagan.
Number 8, Landon Tonsager.
Landon Tonsager does the job again for these Wildcats. He's had to carry a load. He's going to have to carry even more of a load for the rest of the night, but nicely done that time, crashing over the Esser-Hansen side of the line. Watch him. He's going to go over here over, it's like right guard, right tackle, that kind of thing, as Hansen's in the end zone.
It was Keenan Wilson on the line that time for the Wildcats.
He was.
George Esser over there as well for the Wildcats. To make this an 11-point lead, that was not a chance. That ball was tipped on the way through, but
number 78, Jack Hansen with the kick attempt. No good.
Let's hope that point does not come back to cost the Wildcats, because instead, 7 and a field goal for Burnsville will get you back into a tie. That ball was nice job. They got the hand up that time with Sony. I didn't think the ball ever got that high when it left his foot initially. But 13-3, Burnsville last week at Eastview, they went for 2 in the win after Sakio scored. I think it was 21 seconds left. Got the 2. However, there was a flag on the play. They were called for aiding the runner, which, whatever.
And honestly,
when does that ever get called?
Well,
they had to settle for the point after through the PAT. It's like one of those, NFL week roughing the quarterback calls.
Well,
it's kind of like, what?
Well, the challenge is we've got different rules for high school, different rules for colleges, and different rules for the pros. In the pros, you can aid the runner all day long because they want to see scoring. But in high school, apparently, it's against the rules, and you can't do it. Well, and it's
you see it all the time.
It's crazy.
Short kick, and it's going to actually go out of bounds. I don't know what the Wildcats were quite thinking there. I mean, they wanted to keep away from Sakio. I get it, but why would you give Burnsville that good a field position? Which I believe will be the 35-yard line. I think that's the first time we've seen that this year.
Unless Burnsville, is there a chance Burnsville would have the Wildcats kick that off again?
I would say somewhere between slim and none, and I'd say none's going to win that battle.
Well, if I've got a good return man like Sakio, and I know the Wildcats have got to keep it in bounds, maybe I wanted to have one more crack at the ball. I mean, if I get the ball in the hands of Sakio, either as a kickoff guy or as a running back, what's the difference, right? I don't know. Just thought. Apparently not a very popular one, but that's okay. This is why we're up here and they're down there.
Exactly. Again, Mike Cook, Nathan Cron here on the call. Part of the Eagan TV broadcast crew that joined us, a joint production with the Burnsville television crew as well tonight. Flag on the play. As Burnsville's going to pick up about 5 yards. Sakio. Let's see what this one is going to be about. Mason Gugino with a stop.
Well, that flag
for the Wildcats.
Forgive me, Mike Cook. That flag appeared. That flag appeared very quickly after the start of the play. It just makes me wonder if it's an illegal formation.
Yeah, I was wondering if the Cats jumped.
Cats are applauding.
Yep, you got it.
Illegal shift on the offense.
Yep. So let them make Vince Varpness none too happy on the Burnsville sideline. You didn't quite see where the infraction was, but that's what would have been a 6-yard pickup.
It's a tough way to get -5 yards for Sakio. That's unlucky for him.
Yep. Again, there's look at Varpness, coach here at Burnsville High School. Done a nice job at helping turn things around in this program. And Burnsville has won 1 game each of the last 3 years. Got 3 already this season. Blaze have beaten Hopkins, Anoka, and Park of Cottage Grove. Sakio, there's some nice elusiveness by number 24. Kind of juke steps his way up to, picks up about 4, maybe 5 that time. But the Cats will take that all day long. Just keeping him in the middle.
Look at this jump. Jump cut. Nicely done.
You can just keep him in the middle of the field. Don't let him get outside and get running.
Well, yeah, he's got speed like Brooklyn Evans has speed, right? You just can't get him in the open field.
Sherlock going to go to the air if he can. You lose one. And is that ball going to be caught out at the 47? The officials say no.
Well, I think
Sekio
caught the ball. That was a nice catch. I'm not sure what angle we might have for the replay, but it was a great catch. I just think it was out of bounds. Watch here on the right side of your screen. Wilson almost gets him, unloads the ball. He gets to it, catches it. Nope, he didn't catch. He didn't actually catch it. He landed on the ball, giving the illusion of catching the ball.
Tell you what, that's a great shot though from our camera.
Actually, fantastic.
End zone cam. Corey Spawn running the end zone cam today. Sherlock going to the air. Sherlock going to the turf. Keenan Wilson for the Wildcats. And it'll be punt time for the Burnsville Blaze.
Well,
you need a big stop. You come up. You have your big man step up.
Well, that's what leaders have to do. Watch 55 for the right side of your screen. He bull rushes. He gets through. Puts Sherlock on the turf. There's a 3-man rush that time by the Wildcats. It wasn't exactly like they brought pressure.
Loss of 9 on the play, by the way. So 10-15 and counting. Cats remain up by 10. Burnsville one assumes he's going to kick this one away. And nice high kick. Cats need to stay out of the way. Rockford's got to be careful there. He was coming back with that ball, with the block, and I don't know if we have the replay, but I don't think it missed him by much. As Caden Tonsauger is actually back deep on the return for the Wildcats. But again, that ball just kind of was a shorter kick, good height on it, and then just kind of landed amongst a bunch of players and ends up Wildcats are going to take over with 9:57 to go. Dare I say in regulation?
Well, you can dare, but you know the reality of it is that the Wildcats, for the Wildcats, this is put it away time.
Absolutely,
they stick it in the end zone and they can warm up the bus and head back up Highway 13. On the other hand, if the Blaze force a turnover, it's game on.
Evans, he's got a block downfield, cuts to the outside. Brooklyn Evans, he's one man to beat, cuts to the inside. Oh, there's a flag behind the play as Brooklyn Evans takes it to the house. It's 81 yards, but
number 11, Brooklyn Evans, the ball carrier. Flag on the play.
They're going to get holding on Peter McGivern on the side.
Yes, they are.
He's locked up with the defensive back. McGivern ends up on his knees. He's down on his knees. Okay, he's literally down on his knees after the block. They throw the flag to add insult to injury. It hits him in the leg, and it's basically sitting there right next to him. And he's raising his arms up like what did I just do? We'll see if we've got the replay coming. Let's see if we can pick up the replay. He's number 7 for the Wildcats. It's going to be a hold. Watch him. He's going to be on the near side of your screen. He's locked up with the defensive back. He's going to come on the left side of your screen. Okay, all right. That's wow. That's not much.
Wow.
There's a little jersey tug, but both guys are grabbing each other. Oh man, that's. If this was a soccer game and I was talking about that as a penalty, I would say that was soft. That was a close call. That's not the most egregious hold you've ever seen in your life.
I think that's one of those chants where you often hear student sections that will start to talk about a phrase that starts with the word bull. Maybe that left hand there got him up on the shoulder pad.
Yeah,
but that's had to be what they got. It's close.
Yeah, a player changes direction, and if you're grabbing on each other, of course there's going to be. But both players are grabbing on each other. Yep. So McGivern's like, "What am I got to do here?" Well, he's the offensive player. He can't do that. As it is, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Yep. Here comes Tonsauger. Check that. That was George Anderson, I believe. Coming up off the bottom of that pile. Yep. Anderson. Got to give Evans a breather. Normally this is where Carson Schwam would come in. But Schwam, like you said, he got injured late in the opening half. Looked like an ankle injury of some kind. Again, we're not doctors by any stretch of the imagination. And minimal pickup that time for Anderson. You look at the Burnsville band, they're still here supporting their squad.
For years, Burnsville's had a great drum corps.
Hernandez all over that play. And I think I saw a flag come in late coming from the near side. Hernandez got that look like, wait a minute, what did I do? 5 in black.
Yeah, I think they're going to get him for a face mask.
That's my assumption as well.
I think he grabbed Tonsager's helmet and face mask on the way down.
Just when Burnsville is going to set up a 3rd and about 12 for the Wildcats. Personal foul, face mask, Burnsville. First down, Eagan.
Well, the football gods giveth, the football gods taketh away, and right now the Burnsville Blaze shooting themselves in the foot a little bit. Now we've got yet another, we've got another penalty. Oh, we've got somebody really losing their composure out there. I'm not sure who it is. I don't know if it's the bench or not, but we have another penalty. A flag went flying from the official on the near side.
Yeah, I see who it is, but I'm not going to name if that is the young man who's unsportsmanlike Burnsville.
So that's
you saw Sakio at the bottom. He's not happy, but he's not where the flag came. Burnsville fans.
Well, I mean, 30 yards and penalties in one play. I mean, that's...
And you get Eagan the ball up in your midfield when you had them back inside their 15.
Absolutely, absolutely. So even if they force Eagan to punt the ball after 3 downs here, they're looking at having to go the whole field just to get a touchdown.
Absolutely. Inside 9 to go in regulation. Fresh set of downs for the visitor. So the winner of this game moves to 4-3 on the season. Straight ahead, Tonsager, Watson, and company in there for the Burnsville Blaze after a 3-yard pickup.
Number 8, Landon Tonsager, the ball carrier.
Give him 3 that time for Tonsager. Hey, got to mention again, 64 Cole Myers in at center tonight for the Eagan Wildcats. He's in place of Javon Hanna. Talked to Javon pregame. He said he'll be ready for next week at Shakopee, but he did want us to give a special shout out to his mom, Erin. So, Erin, glad you're watching the Wildcats here on this joint Eagan-Burnsville production. Also want to give a shout out to Cindy, who's watching. And it was not your husband that told us to do that. Straight ahead, first down Wildcats inside the 40.
Number 8.
And this field is tilting downhill for the boys in white.
Tackled by number 22, Chase Clausen.
That's 3 first downs, and now we've got another penalty marker.
Flag on the play.
Got another penalty marker well after the play, so this will be a dead ball foul. And if it's against the Eagan Wildcats, Coach Nick Johnson is going to absolutely explode.
I'm going to say Vince Varpness will do the same if it's against Burnsville. Just looking at the body language and the backwards movement by the Wildcats, Nick Johnson's about to go ape. We're across the field and up about, what, 20 rows?
Yeah.
We can hear Nick Johnson.
Yeah, I can hear Nick Johnson through the open window, and he's giving the business to somebody. I'm not sure what in the world is going on. The guys in white and the guys in black, everybody needs to maintain their composure and be smart about this stuff. You're in the position to win the football game. Don't be stupid, by giving Burnsville life. And if you're Burnsville, you're in a position, you're climbing back out of it. Don't be stupid and give the Wildcats something.
So it's going to be first down, but the ball will be spotted back at the Wildcat 46 instead of inside the Burnsville 40. And it will be second down at the 41. First man in for Burnsville that time, Raymond Belton from his linebacker spot, big 57.
Oh, I got to tell you something, Mike. Adrian Moses, 71, was 25 yards down the field blocking Chase Clausen when that whistle blew. I think Clausen was saying to himself, oh man, blow this whistle. This is not going to work out well for me if he keeps blocking me down the field.
As we get inside, 7 minutes to go in regulation. Cats by 10. Looking for the potential dagger on this drive. And it's going to be third down and a long ways to go as George Anderson gets dropped once again. Number 57 in there, Belton for Burnsville.
That brings up third down.
Well, we talked about it. This is the kind of drive you've got to make a play.
Well, the offensive line not getting it done the last handful. Yeah, so it's a challenge. You want to say the offensive line is not getting it done right now, but at the same time, they just had an 81-yard touchdown call back, and Tonsager had an 18-yard run call back. I mean, that's not on the offensive line, right? They did their jobs in those plays.
That was the wide receiver that got the penalty on the 81-yard run that on it for nothing. Do the Cats dare put it in the air here? Not sure. Whatever they did, it didn't gain much because there's Tonsager. Sakio trying to rip that football up. I think the whistle had already blown. But bottom line, Burnsville holds. Wildcats going to punt.
That's very impressive. The Burnsville Blaze, not only after that penalty, not only stopped the Wildcats and forced them to punt, they don't give up any yardage. I mean, there was actual negative yardage there, and that's the Wildcats can't do that. Is see the offensive line just three offensive linemen on the ground while everyone's tackling Tonsager. That's not a recipe for success.
2 men deep for Burnsville. Let's see if they set up the return or do they send the other 8. There's also one guy kind of back about 7 yards off the line of scrimmage. Low snap. Tonsager gets that one off. Low kick. Bouncing football picked up. Sakio at the 30, and he'll get about 5 yards pushed out of bounds.
24.
Burnsville
on the return.
Got a score drive for the Blaze coming up here with 5:17 to go in regulation.
Absolutely, and I will say for the Wildcats, even though their offense did not score, did not get a number. Well, they got a handful of first downs, but those due to penalty. The defense, the Eagan defense, which has really clamped down this second half so far, they've been resting, so they're fresh. They can come out now and take on the Burnsville offense. But Burnsville's got some athletes, Mike. We've seen that already tonight.
I've been waiting.
All it takes is one.
I've been waiting for Sherlock to roll out, and I'm trying to waiting for number 21, Marquise Howard, to get a football. He is a speedster on this team. Instead, they give it to Sakio once again, and he'll fight for a couple, maybe 3 yards on first down.
Sakio.
And I get it. You put the ball in the hands of maybe your best player right there.
Jerry Tella.
But at some point, I just think they're going to open it up, and they're going to find a man going deep. Again, minimal pickup that time, a couple of yards.
Good job by Hansen keeping his outside shoulder free. Doing a good job of not getting turned.
Joseph Santos leading the way for Burnsville. Number 62 came over from that right guard. 2nd and about 8. So we get down to about 4.5 to go in regulation. Blaze down by 10. Sherlock. Hello. Rat was red all over Sam Iacker. Platt, no chance for Burnsville.
Number 14, Quentin Platt.
Yeah, that's just, Iacker read. The Blaze have run that play or a play similar to that a couple of times tonight. He's coming in motion there, gets the ball. It's Iacker read that completely. Nice job by Iacker, not hitting him in the helmet, not doing anything that's going to, look, you have to separate the man from the ball. Okay, this isn't hockey where you're checking, but you've got to do that. But
there's the man who caught the football, Pratt.
Yeah, it's
Quentin Platt.
That's not going to feel good, no question about that. But good job by Iacker.
I want to mention, we said this is a joint broadcast between folks at Eagan TV and our friends over at Burnsville Community Television. And I should mention who kind of the all-star crew is here tonight. Again, I'm Mike Cook, Nathan Cron. We're up here in the booth. We're just guys with microphones, but it's the people behind the scenes that do all the work. It's like our director tonight is Tim Shingen. Ken Trainer's replaying graphics. Sarah Paulus is on one camera. Michelle Blasco on another. And Corey Spahn, he's running the end zone camera tonight. Again, let's give those people credit. They're out there on a chilly October evening. There is no wind as I look down at the flag. It's hanging limp at the south end here at Burnsville. And you see the time remaining, 4:08. Hey, there we go. Hi, Corey. That's our end zone cam. Big smile there. And he's bundled up. Wise. Again, always fun when we can do these joint productions with the neighboring community. Sherlock. He's going to be forced out of bounds at the 34-yard line. And the Wildcats force a 4th down and 12. Burnsville's got to go for this, don't they? With 4:02 to go?
Yeah, their offense, even though the Wildcat offense has been suspect, I should say they've been inconsistent, certainly, in the second half. Yeah. I think if you're Burnsville here, you have to go for this. Well, they're lining up for punts.
I was just going to say that, but
Maybe they're thinking, we putt it deep and then we're going to see what we can do. But if I was the Wildcats here, I would definitely be looking for something fishy.
Yeah. There's a big line to run through right there if you're the Wildcats trying to get to the punt. Savangze, 64, Christian Savangze. They don't list the height and weight on the Burnsville players on this roster, but he's definitely one of the bigger boys on this team. Micah Savage might be one of the bigger boys as well on this squad, but again, I just want to go back to that, thanking our crew again. Thanks for the Burnsville folks having us over here. Happy to bring you Wildcat Burnsville football. It's cliche as all can be, but you know when these two teams get together, records are, you throw out the records, as they say, much as I hate that phrase, but that's really what it is. I mean, you think about last year, these teams battled. It went down to the last play of the game. Alex Rodman splits the uprights. The pit from Eagan goes absolutely bonkers, for lack of a better word.
Yep. No, it's a rivalry game. It's Eagan and Eastview. It's Burnsville and Eagan. It's Burnsville and Valley when they used to play against each other. That was the rivalry for the Blaze or for the Braves. Yep. were the Eagles. And so, of course, both those teams for many years were battling for the top of their section.
Cats are definitely looking for the fake, but Burnsville's definitely going to kick this one away. Cats wisely get away from that football that is going to roll dead at about the 36-yard line. And you brought it up. Thanks for bringing it to me. I always got to throw it in once. A broadcast when we play Burnsville. You're watching Braves football. Just for old school. Hey, they had the Hall of Fame here. People were being, the 77 basketball team was here. And it was cool to see some of those ladies in their old leather jackets, too. It was. They looked fantastic. Yeah. But, they were the Braves back then. But now it's the Burnsville Blaze. Has been for many, many years over here at Burnsville High School. As the Cats take over from their own 36. 3:52 to go. Dare I say a couple of first downs, and this one might be over.
It might be as Tonsager's going to keep plowing forward. I mean, the Wildcats are going to milk hopefully every second of the clock they can. Watch Tonsager here over the left side. Nicely done. It's a good turn there by Young. Does a nice job of pushing forward. He gets about 5 or 6. And you're right, Mike Cook. The Wildcats, if they can get a couple of first downs, and that was the bet that Coach Varpness is making, is I can stop you from getting a first down.
Yep. 5 yards on the carry, Tonsager. See at the top of your screen how far they need to go to get a fresh set. Brooklyn Evans and the Wildcats are going to chew up much of this clock as they can as Tonsager across midfield. 2 hands on the football. Very, very smart move by the senior.
The two sweetest words to a football coach is ball security. And that's what Landon Tonsager had right there. He's had good coaching, obviously, from fourth grade all the way through, because he's wrapping up. He understands what's going to happen here if that ball comes out or if the Blaze get to that ball. So he's going to put every hand he has on it.
From the 48 down to 239 and counting. Tonsager, he's met that time Sony, first man in for Burnsville. And boy, he has spent a lot of time in the Eagan backfield tonight as well for Burnsville.
It seems like about every third or fourth play he's making an impact for the Blaze, and he's unlucky that, oh wow, just I don't often like to see it, but George Esser turns around and looks back and goes, how did that guy just make the tackle? I was supposed to be, he went right by me. Not sure if he fell off the block or if he just slipped or maybe he shot a gap, but in any event, second down and long for the Wildcats.
A loss of 2 on that play. But again, a couple of yards there. Burnsville's going to take their last timeout, or I should say a timeout. I believe they have 1 left.
Yep, they got 1 left, so I mean they need to make a stop here on third down, get a timeout, and then force the Wildcats to punt, which the Wildcats, of course, would punt.
Right.
At least unless it's fourth and maybe it's fourth and a couple of yards, maybe they go for it with the idea being that they're just gonna ice the game right now, and it's still a 2-score game for the Blaze, so it's still quite the mountain to climb, but in any event, the Wildcats, I'll give them credit, their defense has really stepped up here in the second half, because
yes, they have.
I thought Burnsville would be able to put some more points on the board.
Yeah, no question about it. 3 will be a season low for Burnsville if indeed this is the final number. They had 7, and they've also had 9. Tonsager, is that enough to move the sticks? Klassen, the stop, slow to get up. You saw the look on Klassen's face of, and they are going to be, there go the sticks. Wildcats are going to win this one 13-3. They needed 6. Tonsager got them 6. And with 1 timeout left and just 93 seconds and ticking, this is what you, when you practice this formation and then you get to use it in a game, what a great feeling.
I don't remember often practicing this formation. It was, I guess as an offensive lineman, there's not really a difference between practicing this formation and just doing your job. But in any event, it's for the first time since we tried to look, both of us tried to look for the records to see the last time the Wildcats has kind of a timeout here by the
Burnsville.
By the Blaze, but the last time the Wildcats won 3 games in a row, I'll say it this way, it hasn't happened in the last 13 years.
Exactly.
At least we were able to go back to 2011 to review the records, and I'm sure somebody will put it on Twitter or something like that as to when the last time the Wildcats won 3 games in a row. But it's not to say they didn't have success, but 3 games in a row, it's 3 games in a row.
Yep. I'm going to guess that's maybe the Drew Bauer era, back around that time, but back when they would always end up facing Cretin-Durham Hall in a section game.
Section final.
Usually
a section final, yep. So, I mean, the Wildcats, I will say this, it wasn't overly pretty here in the second half.
No.
We had some personal foul penalties. We had some ugly, a little bit of ugly blocking, a couple of fumbles. The ball was on the turf a few times.
A couple of personal foul in there.
That's absolutely, but at the same time, it wasn't pretty, but the Wildcats found a way to get it done, and I think they deserve some credit certainly for that. The defense really seemed like it came to play. Whatever they did at halftime, they've really flipped the script on the Blaze, and the Blaze defense actually, like I said, the Blaze defense has played pretty well in the second half.
They have.
They've played pretty well in the second half. Where they've struggled to do is move the ball consistently. They did that in the first drive of the game, and then after that, it's just been a real struggle for them.
So for the first time since 2014, the Eagan Wildcats have won 4 games in a football season. The final seconds tick away, and I think you put it best. It wasn't pretty, but they're not gonna say no to the win. 13-3 the final. And I want to say this about the Eagan defense: they've allowed 6 points in the last 3 games. The opponents do not have a touchdown against the Eagan Wildcats in the last 3 games.
Yeah, I have to say, it almost doesn't matter what level you play at. If you give up that number of points over a number of weeks, it means you're doing something right. For the Blaze, they've got to regroup. They've got a game next week against Rosemount. Yep. Rosemount's a very good football team, as we know. So, take a look at the upcoming coverage here for Burnsville.
Yeah, look at that. They've got Rosemount. Yep.
Prep football next week at Burnsville. Rosemount's coming to town on the Wednesday the 19th at 7 o'clock. Then you got Burnsville High School girls hockey on November 21st. And then, of course, girls hockey then on the 1st as well. And, of course, it's hockey season. It seems like as soon as the snow falls or the temperature gets below 40 degrees, it's hockey season in Minnesota. And so stick around and keep watching Burnsville community media for all of this action. And, of course, if you're on the Eagan side of things, take a look at ETV, pay attention to the website, check out the YouTube page as well as the Twitter feed, and we'll try to keep you up to date on our schedule as well.
And we are planning to be at Shakopee on the 20th. Yes, that'll be Thursday the 20th, MEA weekend, but Cats are playing Thursday night. We're going into the Whys and Who's, whatever. But bottom line, Wildcats 4-3, Burnsville 3-4. The Eagan Wildcats are going to head back home 13-3 winners over the Blaze. So on behalf of Nathan Cron, I'm Mike Cook. On behalf of all the guys and gals in the truck running cameras, thanks for being with us. So happy to bring it to you here in a joint production of Eagan TV and Burnsville Community Media. Thanks for watching, everybody, and hope you have a wonderful evening.